Here we are.
Here we are. Welcome to Stayfhomekins, episode 9. I'm Paul F. Tompkins.
I'm Janie Haddad Tompkins.
We are a married couple working in the entertainment industry in Hollywood, California.
He's a comedian.
She's an actress.
And we're staying at home together.
We're sheltering in place.
And yeah, here we are.
Here we are still.
Hi, thanks for checking in, everyone.
Wait, are they checking in?
Sort of like an NPR. I was doing
I guess they're checking in with us.
They're checking in.
Yeah, to see how we're doing.
I hope everyone's doing okay. This is
I hope so too.
This things aren't seeming any better. It's not feeling any better. People are still getting sick.
I know.
Those essential workers are putting them.
But let's take a break from all that.
Listen, there's reality and then there's reality. Reality is still reality.
This is an interesting thesis.
So, like, if you had like a Johnny Carson show right now, you just like wouldn't like the opening monologue. You wouldn't have. It'd be like another time, another place. I'm just curious.
What? What do you mean?
Like you just wouldn't acknowledge. I'm curious.
You're asking me if I was hosting a late night talk show.
Yes.
What would I? I wouldn't acknowledge what's happening.
You'd be
world?
like, these jokes, guys. These jokes. You'd get the monologue. And you'd be going through and you're like, no, I don't want to talk about this. This is too current.
It's too current.
I don't want to talk about this.
I don't want to talk about old things.
I don't want to talk about what's going on in the world because it sucks. Like you would exit out and then you'd make him go back in the writer's room and grind out like another.
No, honey, no.
I don't know.
I'm saying for our show, we don't need to be talking about that. That's all I'm saying is that if people are listening to this, it's not because they're like, I want to hear more stuff about God.
What if I were like, guys, we have a special guest, Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
He's 6 feet away from us right now.
He did a 2-week quarantine so he could be on Stayfhomekins. And he's here. And he's not going to answer any questions. We're just going to shoot.
We're going to shoot the shit. He talks about that all day long. Doesn't he want to relax?
He just wants to have some weekend water, and he wants to get up in it with us.
I want to find out what his top 5 pig out foods are.
He doesn't look like he pigs out at all.
It's always the ones that don't look like it.
You know what? I hate those people.
I hate these doctors that are like, I love cheeseburgers.
Full disclosure, we have these neighbors who we love. We're very good friends with them.
Yes.
Ben and Julie, they like to bake. They're slender.
They're Slendermen.
They
are the Slendermen. So if you've seen those, it's those two. So they're the ones doing those videos. They
don't know like that we like secretly kind of are like mad about it.
It's a struggle. It's a struggle. Because they make these delicious things. And then
they're always like pushing it. They're like pushers about it. Which
we accidentally made 3 wedding cakes. Do you want one?
Yeah, they're like that.
Yeah.
They've like during this pandemic, they've already brought us pretzels. Mm-hmm. They brought us homemade English muffins. Mm-hmm. They brought us they had too many donuts. Mm-hmm. Remember they had too many donuts? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, there's not such a thing, darling.
Okay, Homer.
Oh, is that how Homer talks? I've never really seen it.
Oh, you never seen The Simpsons? That is a dead-on
I'm a kidding.
Homer impression. Doe.
Darling. I like the character of someone who's never seen The Symptoms. Yeah. Symptoms? The Symptoms?
Oh, see I told you don't talk about it.
I can't stop thinking about it.
The Symptoms.
Loss of smell and taste. Okay, so COVID toes. No, my character is someone who's never seen The Simpsons, but thinks that they talk like they're in an old-timey movie.
They all talk like Kim Cattrall from Sex and the City.
Oh, is that more Kim Cattrall?
That's what that voice reminds me of, yeah.
I mean, sex, darling. Wait. Doe. Wait, are you a Samantha? Are you a Carrie? Who are you?
Who, me?
And have you ever known a Miranda? Does anyone
I feel like
know?
I've known mostly Mirandas.
No one claims Miranda.
No, I bet I'm a Miranda. I think out of all
You're
of
a
them.
Miranda?
I think so, yeah. I
Yeah,
probably am.
you know what? You are a Miranda.
It's process of elimination because I'm not any of the other ones for sure.
We're all of them, really.
Holy shit. You just blew my fucking mind.
Wait, okay, who am I? And there's only one right answer.
I can't believe you would put me on the spot like this on a recording.
You should know who I am.
I feel like there's two choices.
There are two choices, but there's one that's right.
You're a Charlotte.
God damn it, you got it wrong. I'm a Carrie, but everyone would put me in a Charlotte. Mm-hmm. Like I walk like a Charlotte. I talk like a Charlotte.
You quack like a Charlotte.
I quack like a Charlotte. But my heart is Carrie.
Right. But you get why people think you're a Charlotte.
Yes, I get it.
You even sounded like Charlotte just now when you said that.
I get it.
Did you watch all of Entourage?
Yes.
Because I feel like...
at some point, it became unironic for me.
Yeah.
Like a Stockholm Syndrome situation. But
yeah.
like...
I quit before that happened.
I know.
I did two full seasons. And then at the end of the second season, I was like, I'm not enjoying this. Why am I doing this?
Right. I feel like I kind of want to hate rewatch it.
No!
Yeah.
We haven't even watched The Last Dance yet.
I know. Well, because we have to sign up for that free trial. Okay. Should I turn the recording off?
Listen, don't tell anybody we do this.
We're going to sign up for a free trial.
We'll
we were waiting for all the episodes to come. We're going to go.
This is Scam ASMR. We wait for all the episodes to drop.
And then we're going to
sign up for the free trial. Then we binge all the episodes. Then we cancel the subscription.
You know what's so crazy is no one's ever thought of that.
I know. Please don't steal our idea.
Okay, here's the deal.
HTD.
With Entourage. The finale, I went to like an ironic party at some point, and I remember like it was like
it for the finale?
It might have been. There were like comedians there, like Nick Kroll maybe, and
Say no
Aziz.
More. Say no more.
And sorry, and
say no more.
I know, right? And I was like there, and I was like, yeah, I'm in on the joke and everything. No, it was the finale. Mm-hmm. I think. But here was crazy about the finale, and I can't remember if it was pointed out by you or the comedian party or
I think I know what you're going to say.
The think pieces.
I believe it was Todd Levin who pointed this out. Our friend Todd Levin.
It was Todd Levin.
Yes.
Okay. Back in the days of Entourage, and he used a hashtag so you can find this. He would tweet about it. He would tweet about Entourage.
Oh, yeah. I remember that
He was doing like ironic binging on Twitter, which now like we're all scared to do it because we all need jobs or whatever. But like,
we wait till it show's off the air to talk about it.
Sometimes I just don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, that show sucked and I really want to work with that person. Not everyone can hit a home run.
Hollywood executives, if you're listening, not everyone can hit a home run.
Hey, Hollywood executives.
We're all human.
Okay, and so Todd pointed out that on the finale happened to be the anniversary of 9/11.
Yeah.
And they ended
the final image of the whole series.
Were two commercial. Well, no, not commercial. They were private. But it doesn't matter.
Right. Two airplanes taking off from Los Angeles, headed to New York.
Yes. And it was just visually like kind of maybe not the right note.
I think that's
not the right note.
It was just a coincidence that turned out to be a perfect bow for the whole thing.
Also, now that I'm remembering the finale, oh wait, I'm about to spoil Entourage maybe because I don't fully remember it.
I think you can.
Because it was so long ago.
Yeah.
But like he was supposed to end up with this great girl or something.
Who, E or Vince?
Vince.
Right.
Like, So, like, the whole thing of Entourage is, like, he never ended up with a great girl. Because he was always, like, lost or I don't know what he was. He was something. But then, like, at the end, he finally met, like, an intelligent, chic, elegant girl. Mm-hmm. But, like, didn't end up with her, maybe? I can't remember now. I feel like the whole thing was, like, he didn't end up with her.
In the end, did anybody end up with a girl, or did they all end up with each other? Because it's really about friendship.
Was it about that? What was it about?
I mean,
Will you tell me what Entourage was about?
It was about the unbreakable bond of people from the East Coast who travel to Hollywood.
Like dumb people who have everything awesome happen for them at every turn.
Yes.
So there's something, though, about it in a way that it evokes like a certain truth and rage about Hollywood. Because there is sort of this like pattern of like bros.
Yeah.
Like being handed the keys to the kingdom. Maybe not so much like now, like in 2020, but it was like it's just that easy for them. It's just that easy for them.
Yeah, there are people that actually exist that are like the characters in that show.
Yes, they just like stumble upon like all of the opportunities.
Yeah,
they get in every room they want to get in.
Yeah, and it's yeah, I mean, I think that's a rarefied class of people in Hollywood that have that privilege where, you know, like it's based on Mark Wahlberg's experiences.
Right.
So,
minus the Catholicism or what?
Oh, yeah. I guess there was no religion in Entourage.
No churchiness.
Well, that's why I couldn't watch it anymore.
Their religion were like sleeping with women and doing drugs and
the religion of Hollywood.
I mean,
pedophiles.
I don't know. They were like young. I don't know. Something about the show did tap into something like
it was not entirely unrealistic.
No,
you know,
no. So wait, so like about Hollywood, like people who can have like any meeting they want, and they get anything they want. What do you like? Who is this? Who are we thinking of? Like Tom Cruise or?
Oh yeah, like there's the upper echelon of people that are huge names that, you know, could probably have any part they want. Every once in a while, you hear a story of like a huge person who has to audition for something because the director isn't sure about them.
I could not see. What's his name? The guy.
I need more to go on.
What's his name? He's in everything. He's got like curly hair.
Tom Hanks?
No. He's like, God, what is his name? He like hangs out with like that and and he saw you that one time and he's like, oh, I am a fan of yours.
Honey,
Seth.
You sound like you're 90 years old.
Seth Rogen.
Oh, Seth Rogen?
Is that his name?
That's a person's name.
Does he have like curly hair?
He does have curly hair, yeah.
And his wife's maybe a producer or something.
I think so.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. He can do anything, right? He can have any meeting. He can be like, oh, I have this idea. It's a nugget of an idea of nothing.
Probably. I mean, he's had enough success in his career that people would be willing to listen to him. However, I think there's tiers to everything, and he's definitely there's a ceiling for him that there isn't for like Brad Pitt. Do you know what I mean?
But like Brad Pitt can do anything.
Probably.
Like,
Brad Pitt could probably get any meeting that he wanted to get. He could pitch anything that he wanted to pitch. He could probably produce anything he wanted to produce.
Well,
you know
he does
I mean?
produce a lot.
Well, yeah, he's got a production company, but I'm saying there's nobody that's going to say it's probably not. I would imagine there's not many people that are going to say, yeah, Brad, I don't know. I don't think that's for us.
Like he doesn't even have to like go to pitch meetings and then like wait and be like, did they like it?
He might still have to do that. He might still have to pitch the thing.
Why haven't they called?
But I that part probably does not happen. It's funny to imagine Brad Pitt calling his manager like, did you hear anything?
Like, why was I waiting for 10 minutes? They were late. They were late.
They ate through the meeting.
Yeah, they ate there. Remember that? Can we just are we allowed to dish on here?
Well, I mean, we have to keep it confidential.
Well, we pitched somewhere.
Yeah.
And they were like, not cool, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Am I allowed to say who?
No.
No, I'm not going to say who.
No. We probably don't.
But we did have to wait.
Yes, we had to wait, and then we
wait.
had an extremely bored response from the people that we were pitching to.
They were bored like before. They were like bored that they had to stop their fun conversation to take the meeting with us.
Yeah.
Like, I would have loved to know what the hell they were talking about before we went in, because maybe we could have just been like, hey, we don't need to pitch this.
I mean, check their fall schedule and maybe we'll discover it.
We're not on it.
Have you ever, we know that for a fact, so we can stop looking for those names.
Hollywood executives, don't you wish you knew who we were talking about? if you want to know,
this is driving them wild.
stayfhomekins@gmail.com. I may or may not tell you.
Give us jobs. Have you ever had anybody eat during an audition?
Well, I've had people like wheel in the lunch like feast cart.
Wow.
Like, and it's sitting to the side, and you realize you're the final one before they get to grab their plates off of this, and you've been starving in the fucking
of course
waiter,
you have.
because you're like fucking. I'm like, it took me 20 minutes to park, and I wasn't allowed, and then like this, and so like that like immediately sucks your life force from you, like knowing like I'm the last one before their lunch break, and all they can think about is that amazing like
the food that's in the same room as us.
Yeah. Yes. So I've had that like more than people eating. I've had people on their iPhones. Not a fan of that. Like to the point where I've been like, do I just like say like I'll wait,
right,
dude, because it's always a dude. Well, because it's mostly dudes. I mean, I shouldn't say it's always a dude. I'm just like ratio wise, it's going to be a dude more than it's, you know what I mean?
But to be fair, and I don't want to be like a not all men, but you know, the horribleness of Hollywood knows no gender. And
no,
truly,
it doesn't.
Truly,
no.
That is where equality can be seen. Is that there are plenty of horrible people of all stripes.
That's exactly right. Here's my personal
not us, of course, we're great
philosophy about auditions, because I do believe this, that they need to do their job, and their job is to make me feel comfortable. And I really do get kind of pissed when I come into a cold room, and I mean like, and I don't like deal with it. I'm not at the echelon of actor where I can be like, what the fuck is wrong? Why is this room so cold? It's just that I don't find it professional. And the reason I can say that now is because I've auditioned way more than any Malcolm Gladwell wet dream could come up with.
You mean you're talking about your 10,000 hours?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'm talking about...
That's an interesting way to put it.
100,000 over here.
Okay.
That I know the difference between an awesome audition room and a piece of shit audition room. And because it's so hard to, number one, get the appointment, to even get it.
Yeah.
Because like thousands of actors are submitted for just like 150 slots.
Right.
And then that goes to like maybe 10 on the, you know, EcoCast or whatever the hell you call it. So like it's like, it's so rude to me. And I don't know. I haven't found an elegant or proper way to change.
I know, and it shouldn't be your responsibility. I mean, the fact of the matter is that at every level, what we do in this is supposed to be collaborative. You know, it's supposed to be collaborative, and when you are the person looking for a job and you're standing in front of somebody who already has a job and they are not fully recognizing you as a human being because they're eating lunch or they're on their phone or whatever.
Most of the time they've made an offer.
Yeah,
before you walk in the
that's a
room.
whole other. Yeah, that's
and
a whole
you've
other
heard it on the
aspect
phone.
of it. I've never had that experience, but I've heard about that.
I've been in the
yeah.
waiting room, and
Yeah.
I've heard like casting associates like calling reps to be like, "Is Allison Janie gonna da 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 da?" And I'm like, "Why am I reading for Allison Janie's part? Like, there's no way someone's gonna, you know."
Now, I was the cameraman for your self tape for I, Tanya. I thought you did a great job.
Right?
You put the tube in your nose yourself.
I mean, listen.
You got that parrot.
I just don't think. I think there's an art to creating like a magical audition.
Yeah.
And there's so many casting directors in this town that are amazing. Like there's some
absolutely
certain like people I'll walk in. I'll be like, of course I'll read for anything for them. I would for anything for them because they're a joy.
Yeah.
And then there's some people I'm like, how did you even get to where I actually had one of those this year. Mm-hmm. I wish I could say who it was.
No, you mustn't.
Hollywood executive.
I had an audition once where it was a network test, which is where you go up before. It's the final stage of auditioning, where you go up before the producers of the show and the network people who are going to decide your fate.
Yeah, sometimes there's like 20 people in there.
Yeah, and I was up against it was a comedian, stand-up comedian that I knew. Mm-hmm. We were not friends. Like we didn't like hang out together, but we knew each other. You know?
Okay.
And this was to play his brother. And in the waiting room was just me and this other guy who was like a way more known quantity than I was, and like a cooler get than I was, right? And I knew that guy too.
Okay.
And I was sort of surprised to see him. They're like, "You're successful. This is not the kind of thing. This is a network sitcom. This is what you want to do,
right?
Is like play the brother on a network sitcom." It was weird to me. So then I go into the audition, and in the old days, and they still do this sometimes, but when you would go in for a producer session, a test, whatever, when it would be that level past the initial audition where there would be a bunch of people in the room.
Yes.
Everybody would be crowded into an office, and it was like an audience, you know, and it was actually fun, and you felt like you were giving a performance, you know, because everyone was just the proximity. It was really good for that. Even if you didn't get it, you were like, that was a good audition, you know.
Right.
And then they started doing this thing where they would have them in screening rooms, because every network has a screening room. And then you're in this big weird space. People don't sit together. They're all splayed out, you know, in this room. The lighting is terrible. And so I walk into one of those, and then the guy whose show it is, the comedian, like roasts me to the network people. Like he puts me down.
No.
Right before we start.
No.
And it was the weirdest fucking thing. And I was like, oh, he wants the other guy to get it.
Or he was maybe like nervous and didn't know how to act.
No. I'm going to say no.
Did the other guy get it?
I think so, yeah. Yeah.
You just reminded me of an awesome...
That show did not go. And I know exactly why.
You just reminded me of two things. One, I have kind of a nightmare audition story. And two, which I think I can tell artfully without revealing who it was.
Okay.
Although if I kind of reveal who it is, I don't know.
I would say don't.
Don't reveal who it is?
Yeah, I would say don't.
Okay. And then the second thing you're reminding me of is an awesome binge. I have an awesome binge recommendation.
For me? This is great.
I am a huge fan, and I kind of want to re-binge it in quarantine, but I just don't have the time. Like I'm actually doing work and trying to get stuff done and whatever.
Yeah.
I'm also spending many hours trying not to go into a depression. That takes a lot of time, and binging doesn't help that. All right, so is episodes on Showtime.
Right.
You reminded me of the test because I think in the pilot they are like testing actors, and this isn't like a spoiler because it happens right off the bat. This
Right.
is why I'm going to explain this show just really quick. It is sort of an inside baseball joke about Hollywood, but I think it's so broadly funny that anyone can penetrate it. Because they have like amazing actors in it. It's awesome writing. So basically, this British couple have this hit show in England. And British TV is so very different. Like, they just, they don't care about, star names or, And they win, like, the BAFTA or whatever you win. It's maybe BAFTA, isn't it? I don't know what they win.
It is BAFTA.
For TV, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So America, Hollywood is like, we want to make your show, and they're like, oh my gosh, we're going to America, it's gonna be amazing, we're going to America, and then they get over here and they absolutely destroy every principle of their show.
Yeah,
like this systematically, and they bring like this like Olivier award-winning actor in whose role it was like in England, and they're like testing him, and they're like, what about Matt LeBlanc from Friends, who's like the opposite of this guy, and they're like, from what? Like from Friends, and then he ends up playing him. Anyway, I just love this show so much, and I'm a huge fan, so I'm recommending that. Okay, my audition story. So I was a fan of this show that was very critically acclaimed, and I kind of, as an acquaintance, knew the showrunner, and like this showrunner was always very friendly to me, and we knew people in this, like I'd seen him at parties, and we're on first name, Facebook, everything. So I had auditioned for this show a long time ago. I mean, and I'm talking like All Rise or whatever, like, here's your coffee, sir. Or
right.
Like, I'm not talking like, I'm breaking down in tears and I'm like, you've killed my son.
Yeah.
I'm talking like, like literally like probably went to somebody's cousin or something, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so this role comes along, I noticed, because I'm like, I used to be kind of insane about like finding anything to go out for. And I literally reached out to this showrunner on Facebook, and all I said was...
You sent him a private message on Facebook.
Yeah, I said is a private message on Facebook. And all I said was... And I'd already auditioned in the past, so it wasn't like insane. Hey, I noticed this such and such part. I'm not sure if I'm right for it, but if I am, keep an eye. My agent... is putting me through, or my agent is whatever. I'm such a fan, which this person already knew. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. And you were not, to be clear, you're not saying, hey, could I have this part? You're saying my agent is submitting me.
I was trying to flag myself.
Yeah. Just like,
if I'm
just
right.
be aware that I'm going to, I'm on tape somewhere.
Hey, heads up. Or I hadn't gone in yet, so I wasn't on tape yet.
But the idea was that you would be.
Yes. That's right. Heads up. I don't know what this is. So if it is right for me, I'd, be honored or blah, blah, blah if I got to read. If not, have a lovely fucking day. And a few days go by, and my agent says, "Oh, you're auditioning for this part," and I was like, "Oh, wow, okay. I guess I was appropriate enough for this part, and I guess maybe my personal connection and reaching out got me in the door,
right?
And so, and by the way, I'm not terrible. Like I studied classically. Like I, like this isn't fucking Shakespeare. Yeah. Like I wasn't going out for Lady fucking Macbeth opposite Anthony Hopkins. So I didn't feel in any way that this was in, anything other than like, oh, I might get to work on this show I'm a fan of.
Yeah, this wasn't you saying, I'm looking to break into the business. I've never acted before, but why don't I start with this?
Right. Like, I think I even got I was like on a show working when I got the notice, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. So like I go full out, like I'm like dressed to the
hair and makeup and
to the nines of this lady, and I'm like, this is good, like I'm gonna. So I go in, and little do I know that this particular showrunner has like a reputation for kind of torturing actors.
Yes.
I had no idea. And I'd been to this particular casting office for other shows. Like this is a like esteemed casting office.
Yes.
And it's 2 women that run it. The showrunner kept, and like there were like 30 people for all these various parts. And a lot of times when you go in, the showrunner is not there. Even like
it's very rare.
Very rare that like you go in, especially for like a 4-line situation, which this was. Like you're being put on tape, and then they send it, and if you don't fuck it up, your tape will get sent. Like that's the base level line.
Yeah.
And but the showrunner apparently like was there and is there all the time. I had no idea.
Oh, okay.
This is like something I learned like later.
Right.
And there's all these actors, like actors I've seen like on Sex and the City, and actors I've seen like that I really liked. And I'm like, oh, this is so cool. He kept, I said the gender. The showrunner kept big spoiler there, a male showrunner. Like everyone waiting for over an hour. Okay. I mean, everyone's just standing there waiting, and they're like running through these bit parts. And I'm like, okay. And he peeks out in the hallway, sees me, and like winks at me, like, hey, looking good. Like happy to see you. And I'm like, so like, this is cool. So I finally get to go into the 2 casting directors and the showrunner, and he like, like, hey. And I was like, hey, like, who am I reading with? Da 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 da. Like, here's my picture, blah, 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 blah. Like, the way it goes, the 750th time I've done this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So never reach out to me on Facebook ever again. Because I don't know what the because was. There was a because, I think. And because of some stupid reason. And I was like
it wasn't appropriate or something, or
I don't know if he used the word appropriate, or like he was busy. He's a busy person or an important person, or it was something of like, okay, whatever. Like, where do you want me to stand? But, and I looked over the 2 lady casting directors, and they looked like they were like at Guantanamo. Like they had these faces of being held hostage and walking on pins and needles. And there was an energy in the room that was palpably abusive.
Yeah.
And
he's shaming you in front of these people for reaching out to him on Facebook.
Which he never responded to me. All I got was the audition.
Yeah. And he absolutely at any point could have said something to you privately.
Or never responded. How about that one?
Yeah.
There's also a choice of like...
But I mean, if this was important for him to say, he could have done it in private rather than do it in front of other people.
Oh, there were 800 avenues of shutting me down.
Yeah.
Or setting a boundary. If I had indeed violated a boundary, which I personally to this day don't feel that weird about, because I've known people less than this person and had deeper, conversations about opportunities.
Yeah.
That you know what I'm saying? And so at that point, like I had spent so much time and energy, preparing, and I knew like this was just an exercise in kind of torture. Like it wasn't going past that day.
Yeah.
But I still had to then execute my audition.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I remember you said to me the day that it happened Like he was very, it was embarrassing. It was like he called you out in front of other people. Like, don't reach out to me on Facebook. You know, that's not really something that you should be doing, you know. And then he ended it by saying, that's not weird that I said that, right?
No, what happened was that I executed my audition.
Right.
And he started micromanaging my performance. I think he even gave me a line.
Okay, but
reading.
did that other thing not happen? Because I remember you telling me that.
The thing about...
I'm not saying it's one or the other. I'm saying...
About him saying like...
What I remember is...
Yeah.
He absolutely made it weird and then said, I didn't make it weird, essentially.
I can't remember for
like,
sure.
You're okay now to do your audition.
Oh, yeah. Now, yes. I think there was some manner of him, like, excusing his own behavior, his own monstrous, malicious behavior.
Yes.
In a way that was... I mean, like... At this point, like the air is out of the balloon. Like I've come in,
it's
this
horrible.
Exchange has happened. I'm now standing in front of these women who look like deer in the headlights.
Yeah,
and now I'm expected to perform this scene that I'm not getting. Like I'm being like essentially told like you're never fucking getting this.
Right.
You know, and how dare you waste my fucking time? And I'm like, and it was almost like I'm going to waste your time because I spent 30 seconds reading this message that you sent. Like, I'm not kidding. It felt like that way. Yeah. And so then I started doing my performance and he started like micromanaging, directing the performance. And I was like, see, that's how it is. Like he was teaching me acting. And I was like, I have a master's degree, you fuck.
Yeah.
You know, just because you got lucky, like, what's his name on Entourage for one thing.
Right.
You know, that people liked.
Yeah.
Like, or whatever. Anyway, I still am a fan of the show. And to be honest, I probably would. I'm in a position where I might have, if I got to work with, I'll never work with this person because this person will never have me in his presence in that way. Unless like I don't know, engaged in some toxic relationship with him, like some like messed up, you know, like some messed up, you know,
psychological torture,
narcissist. Yes. Yeah. And I may not have demonstrated myself as being pliable for 4 lines, maybe for a series regular, like I would have. But like,
if you cast me as a series regular, I will let you fuck with my head on a regular basis.
I'm like, well, maybe I would because I'd want like the opportunity to take my career to the next level. I don't know. Like sometimes you don't know people are like that until they are like that in front of you.
That is very unfortunately true. Yes.
But this particular person has a reputation.
Yes. But it's funny because I think we heard all those stories after that happened.
Yes, because it was early enough in the stages of this person's success that stuff had not been leaked. That cat was not out of the bag yet.
Yes. Yeah.
And once the attention became on like this beloved show, like it came out.
Yeah.
Listen, I have no ill will toward this person. Everyone's broken or suffered trauma in some way.
That's very generous of you. I do and always will.
I know you do. And I appreciate that. But I also like it was just a bad experience.
Yeah.
It didn't like derail my life.
No, of course not.
You know, because I wasn't like entangled enough or close enough also like, so I didn't get that 4-line role. Guess what? It's another Tuesday for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, and I've like gone deeper. Like, I've like memorized 11 pages and gone in the tap dance and not gotten it. So like, for me, it was like, okay, I think it was bad because it was like my birthday.
No.
Remember, it was like my birthday.
It was on your birthday?
It was like the week of a big milestone birthday for me. 30. It was like that week.
Wow.
30.
Yeah, I heard you.
I was 30. Yeah. I want another one. Are you gonna, can you vamp?
No. Well, we're like in the cool down period now. Oh. I know.
Well, okay. So speaking of like Hollywood insider stuff, I'm like big into like memoirs and documentaries of people's careers in Hollywood. So like this week I just happened to watch like this Dominic Dunn documentary and this Alan Carr documentary, and I'm reading, I did read the Jessica Simpson memoir. Whatever. But like I like to read like older actors, like older careers, because like then it's like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where you're like, oh, that you can get from like Topanga to Los Feliz in like 5 minutes,
That's all we care about.
It's all I care about.
Old traffic patterns. That's all anyone.
But also, like, I'm kind of like obsessed with, like actors from like the 70s. They would call, like, speaking of echelon of like being like, I can get into any room, I can sell any project, I can do this, I can do that.
Yeah.
Like they would just be like, yeah, I went down to Santa Barbara, or I went up to Santa Barbara with my boyfriend for the weekend, and I realized I think I'd like to do a movie of the week. And then they would like call their agent in downtown LA or whatever, where there were like, before there were area codes, and they'd be like, yeah, I want to do a movie of the week. And they'd be like, oh, I got like 3. Do you want to do this one about a woman who stabs her husband or blah, blah, blah? Like, sure. And then they just like show up to do it. Like, there's no like, there's none of this whole like, there were 3,000 submissions for one series regular. They want a star name. You're not going to get it. Like there's none of that. Yeah. There was none of that. Like they basically were like, yeah, I went to a party and I realized I haven't worked in a week. I haven't worked in 3 days, So I don't know. Yeah, I'll do a little guest spot on Facts of Life or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like you checked out there for a minute.
No, I was listening.
Okay.
I was getting a personal recommendation ready.
Oh. Do you need an introduction?
No, I don't.
Anyway, like I'm fascinated with a certain era of Hollywood.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, okay. So
I thought you were going to recommend the the Natalie Wood documentary.
Oh, the Natalie Wood documentary.
I thought that's where you were headed.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
I forgot that we did. That was great.
It was really good.
Documentary was really good.
Yes, highly recommended.
Yeah, and it's on HBO.
A lot of stuff that I did not know about her. Well, what an interesting life that she had.
One thing about like Natalie Wood that I didn't know that I took away from that documentary is that she was like kind of like a boss lady. Yeah. Like, and all you ever really hear about is like, yeah, she was this tragic figure that never lived past age 42 or whatever. And it's like, well, yeah, that is. I mean, her death was very shocking and tragic.
Oh, it was horrible.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible. But it was so like kind of interesting to see sort of like this powerful, empowered side of her. Like she was like one of the highest paid. She was like a Julia Roberts of her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's absolutely worth checking out. Another TV show that I like that I'm enjoying is Dispatches from Elsewhere.
Oh, yeah. I think you actually recommended that on the last one.
Did I?
Yeah, because, he did.
Well, I'm going to recommend it again. Here's a book that I'm reading. Oh. I'm almost done.
Yes?
Called Disappearing Earth. It's a novel by Julia Phillips.
Oh, okay.
That I heard about on the Hysteria podcast, which is hosted by Erin Gloria Ryan, which is a great current events podcast. But she had the author on, and they started talking about the book, and the idea of it sounded not. They didn't even get into. I think it was just the introduction. The way that Erin Ryan talked about the book made me stop the podcast, so I didn't have anything spoiled.
Got it.
And it's
good.
Terrific, yeah.
And what genre of book is this?
It's a novel. It's fiction.
Okay.
But
I'm not gonna, like a science fiction?
No, it's not science fiction.
Oh,
no.
I see.
No.
Okay.
I would
just check it out. You don't.
Yeah, just check it out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a really interesting book. It's great. It's very well written.
Well,
what a dry recommendation. It's very well written.
Did we recommend
good font?
Mrs. America?
Yes, we did.
Oh, because there was a new episode this week, and I just want to point out, like, Cate Blanchett is so freaking awesome. Yeah. Like, I can't even deal with like how freaking awesome.
It's an amazing cast.
Oh my god!
And I gotta say, shout out to Melanie Linsky
Oh, I love Melanie Linsky.
One of my all-time favorites.
She's
love seeing her in
amazing
stuff.
actress.
She is.
Because she's funny and dramatic, and she's...
Yeah. And she's really funny in this. It's a fun part.
Yeah, I love her.
So there's our little recce's for you.
I really love the series, actually.
Yes.
I think it's well done.
It makes me... Because I know that it's fictionalized.
Uh-huh.
So it's making me want to read up on that time.
On the
because I was a little
stuff.
kid. Like, I was vaguely aware of this stuff happening.
I mean, me too. It's really little.
Honey, you weren't even born
I was
yet.
barely born, you guys.
I know. I robbed the cradle when I married you.
I wish.
Ugh. What?
I mean, just so I could have bragging rights.
What's your bragging right? You're married to some creepy old guy?
I don't know. Just like that I don't get old or something.
Wouldn't that be nice if we just froze? What if we just froze right where we are?
But would it be nice? Because it might be weird.
Yes, I'm going to say yes.
Would it be nice if
Hey, the weirdness is for other people. That's not for us.
you want to be the picture of Dorian Gray?
Yes, that's all I've ever wanted.
Wait, is the picture of Dorian Gray is like Instagram inverted?
Oh shit, honey. How did you blow my mind twice in one podcast?
It's like they totally like predicted Instagram, but the other way around.
Yeah.
Right?
People are putting out these false faces, but it's the pictures this time, not the real face.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
We gotcha, Instagram. We fucking nailed ya. All right.
Wait, that's it? We don't have anything else to say?
Honey, we got to save it for next week.
Oh my god.
We can't be standing around next week with our thumbs up our asses going, oh, what else is going on?
So do you honestly think that we're still going to be staying at home next week?
Nah, you're right. I think this will probably all clear up.
Do you think there'll be like a vaccine?
Yep.
Because it could happen.
Sure it could.
I'm just kidding. Or, you know what could happen? Is they could figure out, like, if you eat a lot of chocolate, you don't get this thing. And then we all get to, like, eat a lot of chocolate.
You have to you have to stay in and get as drunk as possible.
Wait.
It's the only way to beat it.
So far, doing okay with that one.
I think it's important for people to know
that
we only do this. We only drink on the weekends. We're not like just getting hammered every night, and we're not drunk when we do this show.
I'm drunk when I'm near the end of the show.
Near the end of the show, yes. We start the drink when we start the podcast.
Although people think I'm a little drunk all the time. Like that's been some of the feedback I've gotten. But like I've kind of
throughout your life.
Yeah, throughout my life. People are like, "Are you drunk?" And I'm like, "I haven't even." Like it's 7 a.m. or whatever. It's like, okay, I get it. Like I have like this kind of,
You have a belligerent personality.
I wasn't going to say belligerent. I was going to say sort of like a flighty kind of like a...
You're a bubbly person.
Yeah,
You're
like I have sort of like a non-serious demeanor. Mm-hmm. Unless I'm mad. And then I might have a serious demeanor.
Look out.
Yeah. Then I'm...
Oh, shit. You guys, you don't want to be there. It's like the Incredible Hulk. You wouldn't like it.
You have more of that.
Oh, I have a terrible temper.
You have a temper.
Anyway, we're not here to discuss that.
Paul doesn't like his temper, but like sometimes like I feel like it is a superpower. It's like in business situations, but he doesn't like it in business situations. But I'm like, oh, kind of badass. Like that he yelled at
That
him.
makes me sound like a real Karen that I'm on the phone. Like, I'd like to speak to the manager, please.
No, like that you're like, like, no, I want it this way. That's not how the thing goes.
That's not what I said. Oh my God, that sounds horrible. I want it this way. It's not fair. That's what and you know what? It works every time. I get on the phone with customer support and I start crying. And I say, it's not fair.
Why is it customer support? I'm talking about like creative shit. Like where you're like, that's not up to snuff. This is
what is this you're creating? We got to wrap this up. This is not good. This is not good.
I mean,
Nope,
okay.
this is not up to snuff. Try again.
Listen. Fine. Y'all got my number. I get it. I seem drunk when I'm sober.
Y'all got her number.
So what?
Y'all.
Y'all
got her number.
So what? You think I care?
She doesn't care.
I'm
All
going
right.
to get another one.
Let's
Listen,
wrap this up.
I want everyone, please take care of yourselves.
Yeah.
Take care of your sanity. Take care of your loved ones. Be kind to yourself. And
Yeah, that's a big. Look, this is a crazy time, and everyone is doing absolutely the best they can be doing.
that's right. I mixed it up on Facebook over politics 2 weeks ago. You think I'm happy about that?
Just to feel a sense of normalcy, right?
Just to feel a sense of like, that was idiotic. You know?
But yeah, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other.
Stay
And thank you for listening.
safe.
We have
Oh.
not yet. We got to do our
Wait.
socials.
stayfhomekins@gmail.com, y'all.
Yeah, stayfhomekins. We're stayfhomekins on everything. Instagram, Twitter. We're not
And Gmail.
that active, and Gmail.
Okay.
Yeah, but thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate it.
And thanks for all the nice notes that we've
Yeah,
been getting, and
it's
letters
really nice.
and pictures of your family, and like a lot of essential workers have reached out, and you know,
Man, it's like at
you're
the risk
fucking heroes, man.
at the risk of sounding corny, I've been thinking about this every day. Like I was riding my bike today and I saw a mailman in another part of the neighborhood, not our guy, you know. And
Different part of the neighborhood.
I just You think I'm having an affair? I just ride my bike up and down our street.
Yeah, so you were
But
thinking
I
about
saw
about
you
him.
know, a mailman, and I just said thank you, you know.
Yeah.
And he said you're welcome, and it was like
It was poignant.
It was poignant. It was, because you got to remember to thank these guys, these people that are doing this stuff, and we have to also remember this feeling when things are getting back to normal.
Yes.
Like, don't forget that these people that are in these jobs, the post office, grocery store, drugstore.
That's what makes me so crazy. Like the 9/11 first responders, it took them like 10 or 15 years, and
It's still not enough.
I can't.
And it's still not enough.
It makes me
I know.
crazy.
It's maddening and it's sickening, but you know, if you are in one of those occupations and you are listening to this, we thank you so much.
Really
and
do.
you know, enough will never be said for the people that are doing stuff like this. Anyway, thanks for listening, everybody, and we'll be back next week. And until then, stay safe, stay sane,
and stay
inside. Oh,
Wait.
fuck!
The name.
Turn it off!